Welcome to Spotlight on Schools. I'm Jennifer Edens. In today's episode, we visit Knightdale High School to learn more about their career and learning academies. These academies offer students the option to learn more about a profession they're interested in and do it in a smaller learning community. Knightdale High School has a course fair, which offers students a chance to see their course options. So, Mr. Duncan, tell us about the Career and Learning Academy options your students have here at Knightdale High School.
We offer two career academies here at Knightdale High School. There's what we call the Knightdale Academy of Environmental Studies, which is called CASE, and also the Knightdale Academy of Public Safety, which is called CAPS. Academy of Environmental Studies is more focused on environmental issues. It's focused on agriculture, including the animal and plant sciences, the environmental engineering, and also the foods technologies. Public safety is focused on legal and law enforcement careers, as well as the EMS and fire as well.
Excellent. Now, how do students get involved in these or become members of the cohorts of these schools?
Those students have to apply to our career academies. We have an application online. There's also a simple interest document that we have online as well. They can go there, fill those out, and then turn those into me. And then from there, we go and basically accept just about everybody this year.
Okay.
As we get more and more students, probably we'll have to start limiting some applications. But this first year, we're pretty open.
Right. And now next year, you're going to expand. Is that correct?
Yes.
And offer more.
Next year first year, we're actually opening this up to rising ninth graders, which is a new step for us. We're expecting about 50 rising freshmen next fall, giving us a chance to really kind of open that program up to more students and kind of let them be more involved for 4 years as opposed to just 3.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. As a result of taking specialized courses, each academy student participates in work-based learning activities such as job shadowing, career fairs, industry tours, and an internship during his or her senior year. So, Mr. Scanlon, give us a little bit of information about the CASE Academy and its goals.
Well, the CASE Academy is the Knightdale Academy of Environmental Studies,
right.
And it's all about teaching kids about how their lives will impact the environment. So we don't just talk about the everyday things like global warming or recycling. We really want to expand past that. So we really focus on what they're going to do when they leave Knightdale and how that'll affect the environment. So they'll learn about things like environmental law, other jobs that affect the environment. So
right.
One of our courses includes foods. So they learn about, food makes a big impact on the environment, whether it's agriculture through cows or working in a restaurant, it makes a big impact.
Okay.
So we really want them to see the grand scheme that you don't have to be an environmental scientist to work with the environment.
Okay, and now what are the 3 concentrations that they can focus on within the CASE Academy?
3 concentrations we have are the foods concentration, where they want to get into being a cook or working in a restaurant of some kind, any kind of food service. Another one would be our agriculture focus, which of course would focus on farm work and those kind of things. And then we have an environmental engineering focus.
Okay, excellent. What do you find students seem to like the most?
About the academy?
Yes.
One thing that students really seem to enjoy is the collaborative nature. They really get to spend time with each other, and they spend a lot of the times with the same teachers. So there are students who are sophomores right now who I've never taught, but they already know that they're going to be working with me a whole lot. So there's people say, hey, Mr. Scanlon, how's it going? That I've never taught. But they know that since we're in the academy together, it really builds that family environment.
Right. Now, do you like that from a teaching standpoint, getting to know the students and knowing the same students throughout the course of their high school career?
It's really a great thing, because number one reason you get into teaching is because you like kids. And when you get to spend more time with the same kids, you really get to know them and get to know, what they like. And when you figure out what they like and you can teach them through that, it really makes life
Absolutely.
really easy and really enjoyable.
And that has an impact on them and their decision for the future.
Absolutely.
Do you have a lot of students who are deciding to go into an environmental related field?
Well, like I said earlier, that's kind of the big thing about CASE is we're stressing that everything will impact the environment. So we have students that want to be cooks, and they didn't think, oh, well, environmental studies, that really doesn't apply to me. But when we talk about, well, where does your food come from? What's the best kind of food you want to work with? Organic food, that makes a big impact on the environment. So they really get to see all aspects of what their job or potential job really is.
Okay, excellent. And now you guys also include a lot of work-related experience. They have an internship. Have the students been through that yet, and how did that go? Are students enjoying that?
For their junior or senior year, we want them to get out and actually see, okay, you've learned about foods, well, go work in a restaurant.
Right.
Or you want to be a vet, that makes a big impact. Go work with the vet for a little while. Okay. And it really opens a lot of eyes because they see things that they've never seen before. Because, a lot of people say, I want to be a vet, but they've never worked with animals. Or I want to be a cook, but they've never learned how to beat an egg. So it's really great to see them go out from what they've learned in our classes and experience it first.
Actually take that academic study or focus and see how it's applied out in the real world.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Career Academy courses are designed to show students how their subjects relate to each other and the career field they are interested in. Savion, what environmental issues are you most interested in?
Well, I'm most interested in how the ozone layer gets broken down by the pollutants and pollutants and chemicals that we humans release from our cars and sprays and all that.
Interesting. Now, have you studied a lot about that in your classes?
I mean, we have actually talked about it sometimes, but we haven't gotten into depth about
yet.
it.
Right. So you're looking forward to that when it happens.
Yes.
Tell me what you enjoy about being in the Environmental Studies Academy.
Well, I love to figure out new ways to help the earth and socialize while doing it in the process.
So tell us about your experience with the CASE Academy.
I joined CASE on a whim. When my friend told me about, well, she actually knew Mr. Duncan and she wanted to go check out his stand, and I was like, okay. And when we went over there, she asked if she could join because she was already a sophomore and I was a freshman. And he was like, oh, it's only for incoming sophomores. So I was like, okay. And I asked him what it offered. And he said, what do you want to be? I said, I'm not sure what I want to be. And he said, well, you should join CASE. He said, you don't necessarily have to do it, but when you join, it opens up your opportunities and possibilities. He was like, you can look into different jobs. And he started telling me about the classes we'd be required to take, which at first I was like, oh no, that's too much. And then I kind of thought about it. I went home and talked to my mom, and she said, I think it'd be a good idea. She said, even if it's not what you want to do, because it does look nice on a scholarship. And I was like, yay. And then when the lawyer came in to talk to us, I was interested in that because I was doing something for the environment, like something bigger than me. Because the world that's out there, our children have to grow up in. So I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Maybe made you consider a future in that, or even helps you eliminate something as an option.
Definitely. I don't think that's the field for me, but it was definitely interesting. I think when we went to NC State and we saw the civil engineering, that was a better fit for me because, I don't know, it felt so powerful. Because the sun is like a renewable energy source.
Right.
And I was like, wow. And then we went to this farm and we saw how they were sustaining homes, like it was a certain number of homes they were sustaining just using sunlight. And I thought that would definitely be something I was into.
So the field trips seem to really grab your attention and spark your interest.
They do, because it's more hands-on, and when you see it, it's bigger than someone just telling you about it. And I think the fact that we go out and see this stuff makes kids really consider it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what would you recommend to students who are freshmen or who are coming here in a couple of years about joining an academy?
I mean, any academy you join, you have to consider what type of things you're interested in. If you're interested in the environment, you have to, of course, you have to consider it. Case specifically is fun, especially if you're into like math and science, because it's like you get to combine the two. And we take a lot of SBLEs, which is like my favorite part, and you're always with the same people. So we're like a Case family,
right?
Even with the teachers, like the teachers are all really fun and like they're really passionate about what they teach. So
excellent. And that connection keeps you wanting to come to school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, excellent. So what's been the most interesting aspect of your experience in the Academy of Environmental Studies?
Okay, well, Case, it has to deal a lot with like coming together and meeting new people, and just you meet a whole bunch of people in the beginning of the year, and you're going to end up with these people for the next 4 years of high school. So you hold a really strong bond with them, but not only them, but with your teachers. Also, the SBLEs, they just kind of bring you closer, and that's why I like it. It's just a big family. Okay. And then also, we're mixed with FFA, so we do a lot of FFA stuff, and it just gives you a chance to be involved in clubs in order for, like, when it comes to your senior year and you need a club for your colleges, you can also add that in there.
Okay, so is it more exciting to come to school when you know there's a smaller group in this large school that you connect with and bond with?
Well, yeah, it's more comfortable. It really is. It made everything better, and then, I mean, it's fun. It really is. Your teachers, you have this bond, like, they're like your friends. Like, you can trust them and you can go to them.
Right. The Knightdale Academy of Public Safety guides interested students toward a career in public safety through academics, personal development, and in-depth education, which will prepare the students to be college or career ready. So, Mr. Smith, tell us more about your CAPS program here at Knightdale High School.
CAPS stands for the Knightdale Academy of Public Safety, and it's primarily designed to help young people who are interested in a career in public safety, with an emphasis on fire, EMS, and law enforcement.
Okay, excellent. Now, do you get a big response from students on this program? Are there a lot of students who want to go into this field of work?
So far, a lot of kids are really interested in it, especially when they learn there's more than just riding around a police car. When they find out that public safety actually includes lawyers and judges, court reporters, dispatchers, things that they don't ordinarily think about. A lot of them don't want to carry a badge and a gun, but when they realize that I can be involved in this and in some meaningful way, they're really excited about it.
And not necessarily be a police officer, but be someone who supports and follows along with that. Now, explain to me how students get into the program.
Okay, it's by application. We have done a reasonably good job so far of identifying students who are interested through various interest inventories that we do through the Career and Tenure Education Program. So that's how we initially identified the students. And then Officer Smith started what we call our Public Safety Club.
Okay.
And from there, it's evolved into a full-fledged academy.
And do you find that this keeps students more interested and motivated to come to school?
Oh yeah, but high school kids like the cool stuff.
Oh, sure.
When I was in high school, if I had a chance to do some of the cool stuff, it might have been a little bit more fun.
Right.
Some kids learn differently, obviously. So with the academy approach in public safety, it's not the traditional classroom setting. They'll be in a classroom, but they'll be doing a lot of collaborative work with their peers, questioning and answering and solving problems that we give them that's reflective upon not only the curriculum, but real-world experiences.
Okay, excellent. Now, how will this program, in your opinion, benefit fire and EMS and police in the future?
Sure. It will involve kids who have an interest in that to begin with. And I found that kids with similar goals, if you put them together and keep them together, they will achieve more, obviously. And the way it will benefit once they leave high school, they will have a lot of the skills and the resources necessary to be able to either get a job right away, or go to the community college, or go to a four-year school and pursue advanced degrees.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm a police officer.
I am a fire investigator.
I am a paramedic student.
I am a fire lieutenant.
I'm a traffic officer.
I'm a retired law enforcement officer. I'm currently a private investigator specializing in crime scene reconstruction and evidence.
I'm a retired police officer and fireman for the town of Knightdale, and I continue to serve today as a part-time fireman with the town of Knightdale.
I'm a canine handler, police officer, and this is Canine Echo.
I am a tactical paramedic.
I am a volunteer firefighter.
I'm a former ALE agent, police academy director, college professor, and now the police chief for the town of Knightdale.
I am a former retail manager, and I am now the fire chief of the town of Knightdale.
When I grow up, I want to be a forensic scientist.
I want to be a medic for the Army.
When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
When I grow up, I want to be a firefighter in the United States Military Air Force.
For every law enforcement officer that's on the street, riding in a car, every firefighter who leaves the station on the fire truck to go to put out a fire, there are support personnel that never ever leave the office, never leave the fire station, never leave the ENS station that are critical. And we're going to expose the students here at Knightdale into all the aspects of public safety, and then they'll get to decide. We're going to expose them to a wide range of careers in public safety and give them choices and let them understand that what they do here at Knightdale High School is laying the foundation for them to be able to make those informed decisions and then leave here with knowledge that they can then use either to go off into college or to get jobs right away.
We have this little academy right now that we started in the beginning of the school year called Public Safety. And it's with the fire department, law enforcement.
Okay, and what have you learned from those classes or that group?
Well, I learned basically about law enforcement. Like, I learned the items, like in fire safety, I learned about that. I learned about what ambulance people do.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Anything else you want to add?
If you're interested in law enforcement or public safety or etc., you should join public safety next year.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Ms. Jernigan Baker, explain to us how this concept of the smaller learning communities within the larger school came to be.
We were looking at some of our data, and our goal is to improve our graduation rate. And we started looking at why students aren't graduating, and we realized it's not the students that are here that aren't graduating, it's the students that we lose somewhere between the 9th and 10th grade year. And so we looked at the students that are supposed to graduate in 2014 and realized there are over 100 students that started 4 years ago that are no longer at Knightdale High School for various reasons. Some moved, and I thought, well, what about the ones that I know aren't in other schools? Why did they leave? And we started looking at some of our other academies where students have stayed in school and thought, well, maybe if we expand the opportunities for students who maybe aren't connected and feel like school's not working for them, if we could expand the options for other students, maybe we can keep students in school for 4 years and graduate on time. So I started exploring options that students would be interested in. I know you've probably talked to some people about our Academy of Public Safety, which was one of the options, but I thought, well, what about the students who aren't interested in career academies? And so we started thinking, well, we have some that are interested in STEM, some PDA, and so we just thought, how can we expand this for all students, for all rising 9th graders. It also gives us an opportunity to have a cohort of teachers working with a smaller group of kids to help build those relationships.
Right, and students are more likely to stay in school if they have a smaller group and teachers who care about them and who are focused on the same interests they have.
Exactly.
Now, what kind of response have you had from the community?
So far, it's been very, very positive. We've only shared it on a limited basis. Tonight is our major night for rolling this out to all of our incoming freshmen. We've had a couple of administrators and our Career Academy advisor and some teachers and some students that have gone out to our major feeder schools, Wendell Middle and East Wake Middle School. They've set up displays during lunch. They've done some presentations, and from the students, they're very, very interested. I have at least one parent who has a rising 9th grader, and her daughter is torn between the Academy of Socratic Learning, which is PDA, and then our STEM plus Art Academy, which those are going to be 2 new academies. So the interest so far has been very, very positive.
What kind of data is there to suggest that when students are in a smaller group, that it's more beneficial to them? Is there data that supports that?
I'm sure there is. I mean, I don't have any in front of me, but one of the things that we learned from both of our audit processes, last year was a SACS review year for us, and then we also had the curriculum audit that they did in 3 other Knightdale schools. One of the things that our SACS review focused on was how can you guarantee you have an adult advocate for every child? And one of the things that SACS pointed out to us was that they recognized several models in our school that did just that. It gave students an opportunity to form a positive relationship, and they highlighted our PDA program, they highlighted the JROTC program, and they highlighted our Academy of Environmental Studies as models that promote those positive relationships. So we use that data from the survey, from the accreditation review
Right.
to kind of move us towards this model.
Right. And when students form those relationships, they're more likely to stay in school and be more excited about their future.
And you probably remember Donna Hargens, because I know we
Yes.
worked together.
Yes.
And you remember some of the conversations she used to have with the staff at Green Hope.
I
and
do.
she was really big on the relationships. And, you know, it would bother her if she would see students who sat alone in the cafeteria. And I remember her sharing a news article with the staff. I don't know if you remember that article about there was a student, I think maybe at Garner High School or somewhere, that was sitting all alone in the cafeteria on her first day.
I do remember
and that stuck with me. I mean, that's been a few years, almost 10 years since we were there.
That's right.
And you know, that's kind of stuck with me. I don't want any new kid to come here and not feel connected. And so I think this is another way for kids to automatically connect with teachers, other students who share common interests.
Absolutely. Common interest bonds them together.
Exactly.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Students excel when they're in smaller learning environments and grouped with peers with the same interests. Here at Knightdale High School, their learning and career academies seem to be benefiting their students in a positive way. We also think they will benefit our community as the students choose careers in the future. If you have a school you want us to spotlight, email me at jennifer.edens@ewtv.org. Thank you for watching Spotlight on Schools.